Hey there, welcome to Breaking Bidehul. I'm your host, Scott Voce. Before I forget, I need a guest. I need help here. I need a guest. I want someone who understands this. I think I've heard it referred to in the land of conspiracy as Calico or Calico Army. Those, an organization of people, experts, and other professionals, they get together, they kill Illuminati. They get together and wipe out these forces. Now, again, I've been told this does not sound like it is of God, even though these folks work to be an army of God. I'd like more on this group of those that are organized to wipe out Illuminati and the demon slayers. I'd like more on this concept of when we kill the evildoer, that the vessel, when the vessel goes, it's a little crazy, and the demons, whether there's a puff of smoke and they're sending them back to hell for 200 to 300 years, that's going to frustrate the enemy's plan. That demon was set to continue to hurt people here for another 200 to 300 years, and if you do something right, if I understand correctly, again, demon slayers, when these things get whacked, if they get sent back, then that'll be bad for Satan. But anyway, who knows? Obviously, the only answer is to focus on the Savior, solution, and help people get out. Help people find the only way out. I understand that. This is so hardcore, the spiritual realm. Can't even begin to understand it. Be nice to see the efforts that are made to kill these things, and how is it done? And apparently that you can send them back to hell forever. Now, that would frustrate his plan. So I'd like more on Calico Army. I'm excited. I think we're just about ready to start our project, don't you? We've got it all there. There are about 4 more elements here I want to touch on and then wrap this up. I think we'll all be on the same page, and when you bring story ideas to the table, we'll all have an idea now of what's going on. We start with Mr. Browder, and he's going to ID the laundromat, our operator, our washroom attendant, our lawn, and we'll move on. You've heard the number of initial interviews we have planned. But here are the last remaining elements we should talk about, just so they're out there and we all know a little bit about what these guests are saying, what they lend to the conspiracy theory, and a good place to start. So in concluding where we were, our number 1 target will be St. Petersburg. That'll be our first target, the most money he spent. Your money. I love that. And how Putina, his daughter, what do they call him? The bald dwarf, the granddad. His daughter, who lives there, if I understand correctly, she'll have to clean up the town. The future leader, 2030, 2036. Putina, she's going to do it. Can't you see that, Babushka, her son, both sons? It'll work. And in terms of taking action, I'd like to see Hezbollah, the little Muslim fella, the rebels going after the criminals. Hezbollah and the Tats leave Dagestan for Peter, and Hezbollah cleans up the witches. Satanism in Russia, working against Russia. Fantastic. Little Hezbollah. It's this little short guy. They do YouTube videos about him. He's no nonsense. So Putina, Hezbollah, they'll clean up that town, start that little revolution, knocking out corruption in Russia. And of course, it's the no-brainer to take Bidehul's male witch models and send them to Ukraine with Shamal and do an acoustic version of I Am Russian for that Z campaign, singing with Shamal in the Ukrainian sunset. Their moms, their sisters, their wives, everybody would throwing them out the door, saying you should go to Ukraine and be like those real men. After the videos, you follow them with the camera crew, etc. For a while, you leave them. They're all 500s. But I understand things are different now. The other elements we must talk about before we wrap up this summary or overview, agenda budget plan. The DHS angle, Homeland Security, the former agent, his film Sounds of Freedom, the work he did to unveil at least 2 of these child sex trafficking camps, or we're going to have him on. He'll talk all about it. And the effort, I believe it was Bidehul, to spend at least $4 million to silence the Sounds of Freedom and stop that film from going forward. I think he was successful in delaying its release. And he trashed it because most people that saw it or talk about it now, I'm not sure how the film was treated overall. We'll get that from the film's creator. And the former DHS agent who tried to let the world know about this huge child sex trafficking operation. Sounds of Freedom will be like opening a can of worms. There will be so many things to follow up on. You can count on it. And finally, the last element will be the FTC complaints and how Bidehul gets into your devices and into your home. You know, it's funny. I heard people saying, it's a great time to be alive, and these religious right-wing wackos want to shut down your porn. Look at the great free porn. It would be wonderful if those in Iran and elsewhere, where it's forbidden, had a little pornography. They would mellow out. Stop worrying about killing the infidel, killing Jews, etc. Making a case for pornography, saying to me, what's wrong with you? You're some religious right-wing wacko? You don't like pornography? People, don't give up your freedoms. Don't give up your free porn. They want to come right into your house, these wackos. Well, got bad news for you. Bidehul's already there. The predator's already there taking you that time. You don't believe me? Good. Don't listen to me. Listen to the top law enforcement experts. Listen to the Polk County Sheriff's Office that explain you give your child that time to be alone in that phone or on that device in their bedroom. You give them a little alone time. They're being independent, right? Seems like it's a good thing. The sheriff is explaining how the predator will take that time. The predator's going to take that time. So he's already out there. In addition to the deceptive marketing of how they go after the children in targeting and recruiting their audience members and, let's face it, grooming their models. But the way he gets Chatterbait and others into their face and then cross-promotes to Only, where they'll find young boys and young girls can make money on OnlyFans too. Check out fightthenewdrug.org. Is that a real group or is that a setup? We're going to find out. Spoke to them once. Excited. They work to reverse the negative impact of pornography on our children. That's what they say. And they'll show you how young boys and young girls are targeted for the OnlyFans experience. The other FTC complaint has to do with, and I'm going to not get the terms right, but it's cyber terrorism, pirating your devices, taking over your devices, commandeering them. If you have a Windows tech come in, seems like all walks and ages can relate to that. The Windows technician will take over on the phone and go into your computer and fix it. There are these applications like TeamViewer we see where hackers, they install it on your computer, they gain access to your computer, they're off to the races. It's not just finances, everything is there for them to review. So it's in this hijacking that I want to conclude this overview. The things I saw, the things you can count on experiencing, and what led to my first encounter with Bidehul. I want to talk about that as well. Now, it wouldn't be difficult for you to do the same thing, as he monitors all activity. And anything you type, say, think, or do in those rooms or around his platforms are directed to and controlled by him. He just uses those models as bait. They are lures. They are traps. They'll be doing their witchcraft with you, or whatever you call it, mass hypnosis. We'll find out from those who study it and write books about it. Are we being hypnotized? But those people saying, don't give up your freedoms. They want to come right into your house. That he's already there. He's already there. Open the court doors, grab this here, and let's go get those targets right away. Go get the assets. Boom, gone. Gone. Peter, London, OnlyFans, get the sanctuary there, open it up. Greedy Great Britain will see the pigs, the monsters they created with their citizenry fees. We'll learn more about London's Red Square right off the bat. And finally, last but not least, Miami, the parent hub, if not headquarters, for Multimedia LLC, Chatterbait, and the American Covens, Bidehul's toilets and sows, casting spells, etc., in your direction and your children. Our future leaders, our future generation. Spice Heat Gonko, save the human race. Knock out his witches. Wait till you hear the exchange during that. I wouldn't call it an interview, but rather our first encounter, where he answered a few questions as he tried to recruit me. Wait till you hear about the money, the way he throws around the money, the bribes. Unbelievable. That's why they all take the dough. Incredible gobs of money. 10 times what you imagine. So when we talk about Sistuk and others who claim they're being held against their will, or they're being held captive and they're slaves and they're being forced to work against the motherland, the criminals, Piskopnik. There are those that say they had plenty of opportunity, all of them, I think including the president, he'll explain there, They all knew about the children. And like I said, others believe they all would have had a chance to leave and to walk. They did not walk away. They are responsible. There are a bunch of accomplices, these witches. Some of them at the top are co-conspirators. They work with him on a daily basis to hurt people. That, as we come back to the goal, hurt people, hurting others. But they hurt people, which hurts God, and that hurts me. That's a bad thing, right? That's easy to understand for me. But wait till you get into this first encounter, and that's where I want to leave it. So next time, we'll take one last look at the FTC complaints, how Bidehul gets into your devices and gets into your head. His ultimate goal to blame everyone except himself for his child sex crimes, to rule or ruin your world, and serve his loser who's here to steal, destroy, and kill. Our first interview. That's next time on Breaking Bidehul.
We got her.